Hello guys, welcome back to some more Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars Reforged. I don't know why I had to roll my R's there, but we're still in the Hotel Ubu. We got into Khan's room last time. Well, actually, we got the key to room 21, which wasn't Khan's room, it was the room next door, but it's better than nothing, right? So we made our way into room 21, didn't find anything in there. Managed to climb out of the window, across and into Khan's room. Now, when we dropped down, there wasn't too much to find in the room. There, you know, he hadn't left any kind of evidence per se for us to kind of take or, you know, find. But George left out of Khan's, you know, front door of his room, and Khan came back, which is a bit scary. But in doing so, George got some clues, because Khan had come back to change his clothes, left the clothes that he was wearing in terms of like the clown costume, and we picked up some stuff. We've got an ID card, which is an electrician's kind of ID card with the name Thomas Merlin, which we now know is the name that Khan is using as a kind of a disguise. And we got this matchbook, which is the club element. So we've got these two things, but it's not technically what we came here for. We know there was some kind of exchange that happened over the counter here in the hotel. So something has been hidden away, and we've got to find out what that is today. So yeah, we will probably be finishing up the Hotel Ubu today and then moving on to our next area. But let's go and talk to Lady Piermont, because she's the one who kind of helped us. Helps us get into the room.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
I got the key. Thanks for your help, ma'am.
Yeah, I also... Was he going to say something?
Do you want this key?
Oh.
No, thank you, darling.
Look.
I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has 1,000,000 faces.
And a matchbook.
I found this matchbook in Merlin's bedroom.
It came from the Club Alamut. It might be useful to find out if that club is in Paris, George.
I wouldn't think so, by the name. At least.
I have to go, ma'am.
You know what? I'm going to talk to the professor again, because now that Khan's been and gone, I'm wondering...
Hello again.
Okay, well...
Does the name on this matchbook mean anything to you?
Indeed it does.
Ah.
For Alamut was the home of the old man of the mountains. You do not know him?
No, I don't.
The old man of the mountains.
Do you recognize this card?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Alright, well I guess the only person then to talk to would be the clerk again. Because like I say, again, we know there's something that's been passed over, presumably put in a safe. So let's find out.
What now, monsieur?
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification. Rats.
Rats. Right, well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Clerk, I have this.
Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that.
Wow. Wow. Right, so now that he said that, I believe
Thanks for your help, buddy.
we can go and talk to Lady Piermont now, and she's going to be pretty pissed that this guy isn't letting us.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Hold on.
Do you want this key?
I've already
no,
asked her that.
thank you, darling.
Would you like to keep Merlin's pass as a memento?
No, darling. My broken heart is reminder enough.
I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers, but he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George!
Best line ever. Follow me, George! This is when you know she means business. Shit's gonna go down now.
Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
Man, it was that freaking easy. Just get your...
know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
Just get yourself a Lady
Voilà,
Piermont.
monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
See? Safely back. I'm not crazy. Nico's apartment is a safe room. I'm telling you. Right. Well, I'm gonna go and something I don't actually normally do. I'm gonna go talk to Lady Piermont again. See if she has anything else to say.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Okay. Well, could we show her this?
This is what Merlin was so keen to hide.
Really? Well, that fuss for a sample of wallpaper.
It's some kind of
Wallpaper.
manuscript, and it looks to be very old.
If I was you, I'd keep it well out of sight until you're clear of this place.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I could roll it up and put it down my pants.
No, that wouldn't do at all. You'd attract far too much attention.
I don't think I've ever seen that dialogue before. Right, okay.
I have to go, ma'am.
Okay, so yeah, we do have a manuscript on us.
It was the ancient manuscript which Khan had stolen from Plantow.
Now, if we know anything, there is two goons waiting right outside who we briefly spoke to in the last video. Not very happy chaps. So let's just put it this way. If I waltz on outside of this hotel room right now, they will search me, find the manuscript, and they will shoot me. Yes, you can die in this game. So we don't want to do that. What we want to do is we're going to go back upstairs. Because that would be the smart thing to do. And we still have the key to room 21. So we're going to go do that. Well, let's go back into room 21. That's it, George. Shut the door. Alright, we're going to go back out. Back out through the window. So we get to hear this music again. And what we're going to do... I mean, probably not the best way to treat a manuscript, let's be honest, but we are going to take the manuscript and we're going to throw it down. Oh, wait. Yeah.
I knew this was no way to treat an ancient manuscript.
Yep.
But I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
There it goes. Alright, so now we're going to make our way back through. So again, I told you that alleyway would come into play a little bit later on, which it now has. So if we now make our way back outside of the hotel, the goons are they're gonna frolic us. You know, they're gonna search us for sure. But there's one thing they ain't gonna find. And that is a manuscript. Bye, Lady Piermont. It was fun. Bye.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check, nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
Flap. First time we're hearing his name.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
You big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch!
Our apologies, monsieur.
Guido.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
Nice. So we're in the clear. So like I said, again, if we'd have walked out of this hotel room, they would have done exactly what they did just there, searched me. They would have found the manuscript and shot me. Game over. So now, we can go grab that manuscript. There it is.
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed. I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out.
Safe room. Safe room. Back in Nico's apartment.
You're just not going to believe what I've found.
It's not another part of the clown's costume, is it?
Something better.
It's a medieval manuscript. Khan left it in the safe at the Ubu.
It's incredible. Is this what he took from Plantark?
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill for.
Hmm.
Look there, two guys on the same horse.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they couldn't afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal was an image of two knights sharing a horse.
Ah.
Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected with the Templars.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades. This guy, named Hughes the Pagan, arrived one day at the court of King of Jerusalem. He offered to protect the Christian pilgrims from the displaced Muslim armies. The king would be able to guarantee safe transit to Christians in the Holy Land. Safer journeys meant more pilgrims, and pilgrims meant trade and wealth. The Templars proved invaluable to the king as a mercenary army. It was said that they never asked how many the enemy numbered, just where they were. And as the years went by, the Templars grew in wealth and numbers. They were so rich, even kings came to them for loans.
Wow.
But at the height of their power, they fell foul of the King of France. He rounded them up and turned them over to the Inquisition.
Burned them at
Thousands of
stake.
Templars were subject to torture and confessed to heresy. Of course, at the hands of the Inquisition, there wasn't much they wouldn't confess to. The last Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive.
Oof.
But the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found.
Damn.
Jeez. So the treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered?
If there ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years. Anyway, we're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after. Maybe this manuscript is the key.
You'd better leave it here for safekeeping. Think about it, George. One guy's already died for it, as you said yourself. Besides, that parchment is fragile.
Okay, I'm convinced. You keep hold of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be walking around with this thing. Jesus. I believe asking Nico about this is just the conversations we've already had, so I'm not going to bother with those. Let's... you know what? I want to have a look at that manuscript again.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Yeah, because then I can go through things.
Let's face it, we need
Oh.
help, George. Someone who knows about these things.
Who do you suggest? Indiana Jones?
I know a guy who specializes in medieval studies. His name is Lobino.
Huh. Some stuffy old fossil who gets horny over ancient relics, I suppose.
Far from it. Andre isn't the stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lobino guy?
At the Krone Museum. I'll give you the address.
Okay, cool. This is what I wanted to look at. Yeah, Lobino, yeah, he's something else. He's something, all right. That's all I'm going to say with that. But yeah, let's have a look at these. Let's go through these one by one.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but
Yeah.
the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
She reminds me of the Wicked Queen in Snow White.
She was the one who said mirror, mirror on the wall, wasn't she? She made me cry so much when I was a kid. Mom carried me out of the movie theater.
She didn't frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile in Peter Pan either. A knight with a crystal ball.
Yeah,
There's
left.
something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinam
Mea
mea
lux
lux
vidibis.
videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
Hmm.
There's a guy working on a loom. He's weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a duvet cover? It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
It beats copper boxes.
I love some of the dialogue in this game. I don't know why. It's the way Nico said duvet cover. Duvet cover. God damn, that accent. Oh, yeah, the ball.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull, even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tripod.
It sure does. Whoa, what is... I've just noticed, actually. What is this, like... The far left of the manuscript. What is that guy doing? That is the biggest doobie I've ever seen. Anyway. Okay. Well, let's ask Nico about some of this stuff, because obviously we found this in the hotel.
I found this matchbook in the killer's hotel room. It's from the Club Alamut.
Never heard of it. Is there anything written inside it?
No, what were you expecting?
If this was a movie, there'd be a clue, a name or an address. That's no use. There aren't even any matches in it.
Oh well, I'll keep it as a souvenir.
Typical George, keep everything.
I found this in the killer's room.
What is it, a credit card?
ID, Thomas Merlin, of the Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Never heard of him, or the company.
Right.
How come you enlarged this photograph?
I think we've heard this before.
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
I was just making sure. Right, okay. So, well, we've got a location to go to again. We can go to the Krone Museum. We need to go look for Lobino. So I think we will go do that now.
Maybe I'll check out the Krone Museum.
I'm sure you'll find it useful, George.
And let's go and find out. what we can find. Find out what we can find. Good language. Good English. Okay. Yeah, let's head over there. Musée Kroon. I quite enjoy this area too. Very, very pretty looking.
Through the grimy glass, I could see several large shapes in a gloomy room. What they were, I couldn't imagine.
Like frosted glass.
I considered smashing my fist through the pane, wrenching open the window, and vaulting triumphantly into the building. Then I thought, no, that's dumb. Besides, I might get hurt.
That is very dumb. Why would you even? Let's have a look at what the game used to look like here. Ooh, well, yeah, there you go. So there's a... Yeah, I mean, not really much has changed in this scene. Everything's just kind of more up-res and more colourful. Yeah. Excuse me, not too much of a difference there. Oh god, I've got hiccups now.
Access to the side and rear of the museum building was blocked by a dense clump of bushes.
Oh, you ain't going that way anymore then.
A real macho guy would have plunged straight into the spiky, scratchy bushes. Not me.
Not me, though. Alright, let's head on in. Let's go see what the museum's about. What we can find. Yeah, now this looks very different compared to the original. The colour palette in here is very different. Watch this. Very, very different. More darker, more browns, reds. Yeah, it looks very, very, very different. I don't know what I prefer, to be honest. I don't know what I prefer. I kind of like the original. I like the brick walls. I mean, it's still brick there, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't know. So maybe something about the color palette in the in the last one, or in the original. Sorry. Right. Well, let's have a look at some of this stuff.
The case contained a collection of rocks. They were all shapes and colors, but they were still rocks. Above them, a sign read, L'âge paléolithique.
Ooh.
I tried to sneak my hand inside while
Why,
the guard
George?
wasn't looking, but the case was locked.
Yes, I mean that was obvious. Yeah, now this is the handle is to open the window at the top there, but we're not going to mess around with that. Is going to come into play, not yet though.
The case contained some fragments of pottery. They looked to me like broken flower pots. Above them, a sign read, L'âge paléolithique.
Yeah, I think they're all going to say this, but we'll go through them anyway.
The case contained 2 rows of silver coins. Each coin on the lower row showed a portrait of a guy with a huge nose.
Okay.
I looked down at a collection of tools with wooden handles and tarnished metal blades. There were knives, chisels, and spikes fanned out in a semicircle. I guess there's always been a need for home improvement.
Urn?
It was a large brass urn.
That's a big urn.
There was nothing in the urn.
I'm glad there isn't. Okay, the tripod, we're going to look at that in a sec. Let's have a look at the sarcophagus. Can't talk.
It was an ancient Egyptian sarcophagus with a beautifully painted effigy of its owner on the lid.
Ooh, what is this? Oh, a totem, of course.
The totem pole looked distinctly out of place in the setting of the museum.
I'm going to talk to the guard. Let's go talk to him. Hello?
Pardon me. Oui, monsieur?
Are you Lobino?
Oh, no. Fancy you mistaking me for him. No. I am the deputy custodian.
But Lobino does work here.
Work? I wouldn't go so far as to call it that. He studies here most days, but as you can see for yourself, not today.
Why are we shouting this far across the room? Like, George, could you not move, like, closer to him? Like, look, look at the distance here. It's like, can I ask you some questions? Okay, I guess we're doing this.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
Not a sausage.
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar. Though people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park the... No, no, no. They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar. Not like Monsieur Lobineau.
Quite the
What can you tell me about the
brainiac.
collection of coins?
A rare example of silver coinage from the reign of Philippe le Bel. That little old lay buried for centuries in a field on the outskirts of Paris. They're unique. Nothing like them has been found anywhere else in Europe.
Oh.
Who was Philippe le Bel?
You don't know? Philippe IV, the King of France.
Wasn't he the guy who wiped out the Knights Templar?
I have no idea, monsieur. All I know is he was King of France. I don't even know why he was called Philippe le Bel.
Interesting.
What can you tell me about the collection of pottery?
Those are remains of pots used by the original inhabitants of Paris. The Paris pot people.
When did they move out?
15,000 years ago, monsieur. Vanished in the mists of time. Didn't even have time to pack up their pots.
The pot people, and they didn't have time to pack up their pots. 15,000 years ago. I'll just, you know, not too long ago then. You know. We're getting some lore here, though. We're getting some info.
I thought the original inhabitants of Paris were a tribe known as the Parisi.
That is right, monsieur. Renowned for their pots. You see, in those days, people didn't have much in the way of possessions. A few flints, some animal skins, maybe the odd bone or two. Naturally, when the Parisi came along with their pots, why, everybody wanted one.
I guess they must have caused a kind of consumer frenzy.
Yeah, oui, they connect the market, cleaned up.
I want a pot now. You keep talking about it.
You don't know the first thing about those pots, do you?
No, monsieur.
Oh, wow. We just went through all of that and he had no idea what he was talking about. Okay.
What does this tool mean to you?
That belongs in a museum.
Pardon?
It is a priceless historical artifact, if I am not mistaken.
No, it's a plain old tool for lifting drain covers. Do you recognize this red nose?
I don't think so.
To be honest, you could probably put that in a museum and someone would be like, wow, look at that. Or they'd be like, I want to buy that.
What do you make of this tissue?
It is absolutely disgusting, monsieur.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur. Is there any reason why I should?
I guess not.
Worth checking, though, innit?
Do you recognize this ID pass?
No.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamut?
Oh, no. I don't frequent places like that.
Okay.
Would you like to shake my hand?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur.
All right. Well, I think we've exhausted you.
Thanks for your help.
I won't keep shouting at you across the room this time. Let's move a bit closer, shall we? Let's have a look at this tripod.
In the case was a spindly tripod, blackened with age and pitted with rust. It was identical to the tripod pictured on the manuscript. A notice identified it as 15th century from Western Ireland. It had been found in Loch Marne at the site of a Knights Templar preceptory. Ireland!
What's that?
This tripod
What's
was
that?
found in Ireland.
I will have to ask you to keep your voice down.
I'm sorry, I was excited.
This isn't a library, dude. Well, Yeah, George was just excited about it.
Eh, no. No, monsieur. No.
I love that. Now
What's
we're
wrong?
You must not enter the exhibits.
I'm sorry.
Now we're just stood right next to each other.
The case contained the tripod shown on the manuscript.
Nice. Right. Well, I think I'm gonna end this one early. This is gonna be an early one, and I say that because I want to start the next part in its own episode, and you'll understand why. If you've
The
played this before,
tripod was definitely the one on the manuscript. The Templar connection confirmed it. I was tempted to go to Ireland to check it out.
yes. Yeah. Again, if you've played this, you'll understand. I think you know where we're going. One of my favorite locations in this game. Not my absolute favorite, but again, it's one of. I can't wait to go to Ireland with you guys. It's so fun. Some very interesting characters in Ireland, as I'm sure you know. But yeah, I think we're going to end this one off a little bit early. I think this is a good place to stop and then to start the next one next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Be safe, be healthy, and all that good stuff. I brain farted on what I was supposed to say there. I forgot my outro. But I will see you guys next time, and we will go to Ireland in Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars Reforged. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.